Imagine a man so wealthy that he could collapse an entire economy just by showing up. This is the story of Mansa Musa, the 14th century emperor of Mali and the richest human being in recorded history. His fortune was so massive, it's said to be incalculable, and his legacy shaped not just Africa, but the world. Let's go back to the early 1300s. The Mali Empire in West Africa was booming. It controlled vast trade routes across the Sahara Desert and was rich in something the rest of the world desperately wanted: gold. Lots of it. In fact, Mali was producing nearly half of the world's gold at the time. And Mansa Musa, he was the man at the top. He ruled Mali from 1312 to 1337, and under him, the empire expanded to its greatest size, stretching across modern-day Mali, Senegal, Gambia, Nigeria, Chad, and Mauritania. But Mansa Musa wasn't just a conqueror. He was a builder, a scholar, and most famously, a traveler. In 1324, Mansa Musa set off on his legendary pilgrimage to Mecca, a requirement for all Muslims known as the Hajj. But he didn't go alone. He brought an entourage of tens of thousands. Historians say up to 60,000 people, including soldiers, slaves, officials, and merchants. He also brought 80 camels, each carrying hundreds of pounds of gold. As he moved through cities like Cairo, he gave away so much gold that it caused massive inflation. The value of gold crashed, prices skyrocketed, and the Egyptian economy reportedly took over a decade to recover. Imagine being so rich, your generosity accidentally damages a country's economy. But this journey wasn't just about spending gold. Mansa Musa used his travels to put Mali on the map, literally. His visit was so spectacular that European mapmakers, who knew little about Africa at the time, began to include Mali and Mansa Musa himself on their maps. In the 1375 Catalan Atlas, he is depicted sitting on a throne, holding a golden scepter and a nugget of gold. When he returned to Mali, Mansa Musa started investing in education, culture, and religion. He brought back architects and scholars from the Islamic world. One of the most famous buildings from his reign is the Gingerbread Mosque in Timbuktu, designed by a Spanish architect. It still stands today. Timbuktu, under Mansa Musa, became a major center of learning, trade, and religion, home to one of the world's oldest universities and vast libraries filled with thousands of manuscripts. So how rich was he, really? Well, estimates vary wildly. Some historians suggest Mansa Musa's fortune, adjusted for inflation, would be over $400 billion in today's money. Others go even higher, up to $500 or even $600 billion, making him richer than any modern billionaire. To put that in perspective, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, and Bernard Arnault, some of the richest people today, have fortunes in the range of $180 to $250 billion. Mansa Musa may have had twice as much, but wealth alone doesn't explain his impact. Mansa Musa helped spread Islam across West Africa. He strengthened trade across the Sahara. He connected Mali to the wider Islamic world, and he showed that African civilizations were powerful, wealthy, and advanced long before colonialism. He died around 1337, and while Mali's power eventually declined, his legacy lived on today. Mansa Musa is remembered not just as the richest man who ever lived, but as a king who built culture, sparked curiosity, and left an unforgettable mark on history. So the next time someone asks who was the richest person of all time, you know what to say. Mansa Musa, the Gold King of Mali.